Guys, gals, and fellow gender non-conforming pals, welcome back. My name is C28. Vlog, what is this? 42. 42, meaning of life. Welcome to vlog 42. Heck yeah. Or is it 32? No, it's 42. It's definitely 42. Because I remember having this exact same argument over, we made it to 30, and it was actually 40, and I was like, what?
We're on 40?
No. But it
You're
is,
joking, right?
42. That's mad. Anyway, so project and portfolio. This class is pretty much about the culmination of everything we've learned thus far in our full sail journey. It is taking inspiration heavily from principles of music or fundamentals of music, whichever you took. Fundamentals is something that music production students will take, whereas the recording arts students, such as myself, would take the other one, which would be... I just realized, sorry, I got sidetracked because I realized I left my student ID at Full Sail. I will get that after this video before I edit. Here's a clip of proof of me having it now. Hi, it's me. I got it. That's me on the picture. Back to the video. So, there we go. That way, in the editing process, I have to go back and I don't forget it because that's quite important. Yeah. Anyway, whew. Basically, story on that is we're getting into it finally. Yes, the combination of all that. So, principles of music or fundamentals of music, depending on which one you are, and as well as recording principles. So, learning how to properly record and mix audio, as well as, shoot, what was the one we were just in? Sequencing technology from 2 classes ago. So sequencing technology as well. Learning all about MIDI protocol and whatnot. So it's taking all of those processes that you've learned, or all the knowledge, skills is what I'm gonna say. All the skills you've learned from those classes and mashing it together into this one class where you make some projects that show what you really know, which is fun. So I'm definitely going to go all out on the projects that we have, the real projects, not just the labs, but like I will try hard in the labs. Like I use the keyboard in the lab to make a really cool bass line. But on the actual portfolio pieces, the first one, the second one, the final one, is major, minor, final. Final, you can pick whichever one you want and do all sorts of stuff. Go all out. But let's talk about those. So this class has 3 projects that you're going to work on throughout. You have a major scale project, which requires you to make acoustic only choices. So you have an acoustic kit, you have an acoustic instrument, another acoustic instrument, and I think you have to use some Apple loops as well, which have to be acoustic. Then the next one is fully synthesized, which I will love and adore because of Liz, my friendly neighborhood matriarch. Oh, she's so beautiful, isn't she? Look at these wires, this beautiful hair of wires, these knobs, the pristine shimmer of the keys, the plastic. So good. Appreciate you, Liz. So that'll be fun. Then, yeah, also just unique sound design. Be cool. And the final one is just kind of do whatever you want as far as the creative choices, but you need these elements generally. They can be synthesized, they can be organic, they can be digital, they can be analog, whatever you want to do. But you have to have them. So if you want to do a bass where it's like a plucked orchestral bass or a plucked jazz bass, or if you're a masochist, you know, a strummed bass. Don't strum the bass. Please don't strum the bass. But you could. And then all the way to this, which is not a bass at all, but you can make it sound like one. Yeah. I think that pretty much covers like what the class is about. So the labs that we'll have will go over the smaller details about everything. So today's lab, we went over a few different things in regards to the going back to principles of music stuff. So let's actually open up here. So the first thing that we had was we had this little worksheet where we had to go over the circle of fifths, essentially. We're going over how many flats, how many sharps does each scale have, how do you get to them, and not really a whole lot interesting to show there because it's not really anything that I created. It's just like a quiz. I'm not going to show you a quiz. But what I can show you is we did have some other stuff. So actually that one I also won't show because it's super mundane. So the next thing we had to write out with MIDI all the major scales. Yes, you could just copy, paste, shift up, but don't. Because the idea is the muscle memory of like how those scales work. You see the pattern and you see that, oh, okay, it's all the same no matter what I do. But you get in the habit of making those choices within the scales. I was thinking about just copy paste, but I was like, that's not what they want you to do. That's a waste of, my time here. And the instructor told us, he did the calculation at one point, Full Sail is about $1 a minute. At some point, whenever he calculated it for whatever degree, but around there, Full Sail is generally around $1 a minute for the degrees. So make your time count. Meaning that moment in audio workstations where I spent 5 minutes like, how does this work? That cost me $5. So $5, what the heck am I doing moment. Yeah. But the first thing we're actually doing is we have our drum replication. So this is straight out of Principles of Music. Let's see. Don't use. Where's that? Close. Save. BRB, we're going to fast forward. Okay, here we are. That was so long. Sorry. Well, I'm not sorry, because for you that was probably, 2 seconds? For me, not. So, here's one of the things. And I'll blow this up on the screen so you can see it. We'll have a little screen window. Let's put it like here. Does this work? I might be too high, too low. It's going to be generally over here. But we have this sort of thing that we were doing. That's funny. No audio is coming out because I think it's trying to use my headphones. Okay, now it works. So, again, here's that window. Boom. Thank you, future me, for editing that. And now, yeah, so we did this. And if you look inside of it here, you'll see that, all the MIDI is 1-to-1 for what it is. God, this is going to be a pain to edit. But I love you, YouTube. I appreciate what you do for me to, keep me company. So, yes, you see drums correlate to the MIDI regions that are happening. I don't know if my hands are in the right position. But, yeah, that's that. And we'll just let this. Yeah, that's it. Boom! That one's done. God, these are going to suck to edit so much. How much does it suck? Does it really suck a lot? Dang. Should I not do the other one? Okay, that's fair. I did already do it. This is very strange time travel logic. So, I'm talking to you, right? And you're talking to me, but I can't hear you because I'm filming this now, right? Okay. But I already did it, so that's why you told me, so I should do it. Gotcha, no paradoxes. Cool. Time save. Yeah. Then we had a similar thing, which was a bass replication. So, in this one, we had drums and keys. So we had this sort of thing. So scream, boom. Done. And that was, the initial thing. We had that, and then we had to make this extra little bass section where we duplicated the bass. So what we did is we got the bass audio and the bass MIDI, and we were just going 1-to-1. We're going, okay, it's going in these scales. We know what notes it can use, what notes it can't use. So keys, not scales, keys. And then we got something like this. And yes, you see the MIDI notes follow the waveform. So you can see the waveform up here. Hopefully I'm pointing in the right direction. I don't know if I am. And MIDI down here, and you see it matches 1 to 1. And in the MIDI editor, you have to write all those in perfectly. So an example, God, I'm gonna hate this. MIDI editor is this thing where, okay, wow, this is gonna really suck to edit. Anyway, yes, MIDI editor lets you plug in the notes 1 to 1, and you can see how it relates to the audio waveform. So yes, that is how that works. Hopefully this isn't too loud and overpowering on my voice. That would really suck, but whatever. And then the final thing we had is a drum track where we are replicating drums. So it's hard to see it right now, but essentially it is all coming together. We had a certain, what's it called? PDF. That's the word I could not think of. That's funny. Sad maybe. But we had a PDF that had a few different drum patterns written in drum notation. So that looks like this. And so your drum notation is, yeah, you see those X's for your hats. You see all that nonsense. Not nonsense, but it's, it's different. It's not the same as a traditional musical thing. Sheet music, that's the thing I was thinking of. Not like that. It's a bit different. So we had to look at something that looked basically like that and then transcribe it using either, if you wanted to use the score editor or the piano roll. I use the piano roll to do that. And then we plugged in different sections. So we had our basic drum beat, which sounded like this. And then we would have a variation. Then we would go back to it. And then we would have a fill like this. And then back to it. Variation. This is, I don't know why I'm dancing. Yeah, no, it's not great. Anyway, and then we did have another fill. Yeah. So that's that. And that was pretty much that. Took quite a while to get through the paper of the PDF of the Circle of Fifth stuff, and it was very useful knowledge. Not knowledge, but like practice. So, let's see, don't say. Already uploaded. We're good. So, yeah. Very useful practice to be able to get that, in the head. Can you stop clicking, please? Thank you. Rude monitors. Yeah. I did get started on my first project, which is not issued yet. In fact, I don't think until like Thursday we have anything starting. Like all the stuff that we had due for today and this week so far is done, and it was just that lab. Yeah. So the class is pretty straightforward. It's just there's a lot you're doing in each lab. There's a lot of stuff, and it's training you with these skills. And the number one takeaway I had from this class so far, day one, is this. You may have people argue over which DAW is better, which one they prefer to use. Oh, you use Logic? Ah, bloody hell. You use Ableton? Oh my God, Cubase? Luna? What are you doing? No. Your job as an audio engineer is not to say, I use this, what can we do? Your job is they say, all right, here's the project. Can you do this? Yes, I can. That's your job. The job is, okay, we use Pro Tools, and you say, great, perfect, let's get started. Because you're familiar with the main software that's used. Now, granted, it's probably not going to be FL or Ableton. Maybe Ableton, but Pro Tools and Logic, in that order, are the most popular choices in the industry. Damn near the only choices in the industry. But, of course, there are companies that will use something else, for sure. Has to exist, because statistics, right? But yeah, that's our job as recording engineers. And if we're going to work in that sound environment, the audio environment, we need to know how to use the tools and not be like, oh, I hate that tool, I refuse to use it. Imagine a construction worker going up to her site, right? And she's like, that drill in particular, it's from Black & Decker. I hate the way they do their power button. Absolutely not. I am not going to use a Black & Decker drill. She'd be fired on the spot. So, yeah. Basically, don't be emotionally attached to certain DAWs. Just, they're all tools, know how to use them. That's the main takeaway. So yes, that's about it. So this video is now concluding. If you enjoyed the content today, you really enjoyed it, you can let YouTube know that you enjoyed it by hitting that little red button. I hope it's still red. I've seen in recent updates, it's like gray, and then you click it, and then it goes yellow, it sparkles. Basically the subscribe button. That button, which may or may not be red anymore, depending on what device you're using. That thing allows YouTube to know you liked this content, and it will say, huh, perhaps I should give them more of this type of content. Not even just my videos, but more videos like it. So if you enjoyed it, hit that button. After you hit that button, if you really, really enjoyed it, you can hit the blue button that pops up to let you join and become a control voltage. Have your hands in C28 Music as a YouTube channel and say, we should do this. Join the Discord community and help everyone out with their audio endeavors. Chat with me, chat with everyone else, and you know, the C28 community knit tight. Sounds fun. I hope you all take care of yourselves. God be with you, and goodbye, YouTube. I'm gonna hate editing this.